How would you describe your relationship with the Eagles fan culture, man? I know it's different out there, especially after bringing home the Lombardi this year.
For me personally, I think it's smooth for me. You know, everybody have, you know, their ups and downs and things like that. That's part of it. But for me, it's smooth. And, you know, coming from where I'm from, it's kind of the same thing, you know. Everybody that's a Philly fan, they grew up in Philly.
Yeah.
Like, that's all they know. And back at home, that's how it is. And they meet, like, everybody that's there watching the game, they grew up in A meet. They watch A meet their whole lives. They went to A meet. So that's how it was. So for me, it was kind of easy. And then, you know, just embracing, you know, how they are, like you said, Philly crazy. You know, I embrace it because, you know, I'm so hard on myself. What somebody else say about me not gonna bother me.
Shout out Gillie, you know what I mean, one of my favorite podcasters, you know what I'm saying? He almost became like the de facto mascot for the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Yeah. Not disrespect them calling him a mascot, but you talk about Philly fans, he's probably the one that wears his heart on his sleeve the most, and he's in the locker rooms, he's on the parades, in the streets, like, he ran y'all out for a couple of games, man. Sure. Like, what's it like having Gillie in the locker room getting y'all hyped for the games, man?
You know, he's a true definition of a Philly fan, man. Like, anytime he can be there, he's gonna be there. You know, through the ups and downs, he gonna let you know how he feel, and it's just fun, man. You know, sometimes with our job, you know, it's so long of a season, so long, like days are so long, like you need that joy, that excitement, and he brings it. You know, on game day when we see him, man, it's nothing but love, and it's always like he always have that excitement with him, so it rubs off on us.
Philly fans, man, Philly fans are they're legendary for their fanaticism. You know what I mean? Like they just, you know, they booed Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? Like they somebody gets hurt on the field. Like they have this sort of reputation that sort of precedes them.
Santa Claus is crazy.
Booing Santa Claus is wild. They're never gonna live that.
Rightfully so, though. Rightfully so.
But even earlier in the year, man, like Nick Sirianni got into it with one of the Philly fans, and you know was going back and forth, and you know obviously it all worked out in the end. But you know, coming from where your vantage point, did you think there was a little bit of a misunderstanding between, you know what I mean, Coach Sirianni, the Philly fan base, how they felt about him, and all that type of stuff? Where did you stand on that?
I wouldn't say it was a misunderstanding. You know, at the end of the day, they want you to win games, and they don't want it to be close. They want you to, you know, blow everybody out. But they got to understand, man. You know, they professionals, we professionals. You know, we all getting paid. It ain't easy as you think. But I think Sirianni understands like how it is up there. And I think a lot of us understand that. We know what the fans are going to be like. We know what they expect. And, you know, when we don't do our job, they're going to do what they do.
I mean, in a way, it almost feels like he was kind of built for that Philly fan base, man, because he didn't back down. Like, I respect that he didn't back down from the fan base. That he was, you know what I mean, on the press conference talking about it, you know what I mean, going back and forth with him. And it's like, that sort of energy, even as a fan, if you're watching it, like, you might be taken aback a little bit, but the results don't lie. Like, y'all been extremely successful.
It's certain fan bases that need that.
Yeah.
That need that type of energy back. You know, they need that back and forth, especially coming from the coach. You know what I mean? Like, you need that back and forth. You need that to feel that energy. That we connected now. I know you feel the same way I feel. We both want to win.